This photo was in the same time, but with peasants in a region in La Laguna, where the peasants were the most important support for the Communist Party. That La Laguna is in Torreón, in the north part of our republic. This is a meeting with Vicente Lobato Toledano. Lately, he was he founded El Partido Popular, that was the first real revolutionary, no, not revolutionary, progressive party in Mexico. And my father belonged to that party because he was very friendly with Vicente Lobato Toledano. Look, my father is there, terribly sad, I don't know why. And my father took us, my sister Ruth and I, to be introduced with Frida parents. So as you can see, we are furious. My sister and I, we were completely furious, you see. This is Frida and Diego, after his marriage, working in a meeting with the communist people. Because Frida became a communist officially. Before that, my father did it. When my father met Frida, Frida was already a communist, member of the party. The United States government were afraid in the 20s, at the end of the 20s, 28, 29, because most of the Mexican artists that belong to the Communist Party. So the American government sent to Mexico's ambassador, and Mr. Wright Morrow, and he was an extraordinary well ambassador. The mission for Morrow was to try to keep the people quiet and don't think that the petroleum is going to be on hands of the American people. And he works a lot, and a part of this work was to send the better artists of the time to United States, to different cities of the United States. Most of them, they went to New York, Orozco, Tamayo, Covarrubias, Rivera. They went to New York and they stayed there for a long time. With the payment of the American embassy. So it's something strange, but that is the way in which the American politicians, well, the North Americanos, thought that maybe the Mexicans will be in peace, will be quiet. And this is the central part, the most important, the central figure in the mural that was destroyed by the Rockefellers. The Rockefellers paid my father to make a mural, to realize a mural in the really new building, Radio City building. And my father painted there a large mural, the center of which is this figure, but John D. Rockefeller Jr., the daughter of the old Rockefeller, he doesn't like it because some people says because the face of Lenin was situated just together with him, with his face. But I have a friendship with Anna Rockefeller, and someday in New York I asked her if that was true, and she said that the reason was because in another side of the mural, my father painted John D. Rockefeller with a glass of champagne in his hand, and being such extremely conservative figure, they considered that they were insulted, painting one of them was a drunkard. So, and then Rockefeller, the old Rockefeller, asked John Rockefeller to destroy the mural. and they paid to my father $50,000 for the mural, and they destroyed it. And with that money, my father went to visit and becomes friendly with the School of New Workers. That was a school for Trotsky people that they operated in New York, and they were very successful with this school to teach political communist ideology. And he's there living with Frida in New York, and he started workers to paint 11 small murals for the workers of this union. This is another picture of Frida and Diego in the same time. But the year of 1932 was a terrible bad year for them, you know. They suffered too much for all those situations, and finally he was invited to go to Detroit. And because Henry Ford wanted to copy the idea of Rockefeller, the Rockefeller family, to have a very big mural in Detroit. And then my father worked in Detroit. They come back to Mexico after painting in Detroit. They went to live in San Angel. And the houses that are the first houses that were made by a famous architect, Juan O'Gorman. And those houses are museums now, and the houses are the three houses who were the first houses in all Latin America that they built under the new way of functionally architecture, the Frank Lloyd Wright. Juan O'Gorman was a pupil of Frank Lloyd Wright, and when he come back home, Juan O'Gorman, he was the owner of the land there in San Angel, and then he built the houses for my father and Frida. This is my father with Andrea Breton in 1936. This is my mother's family. My mother is not here in the photo, but my father was so close from my grandmother, mother of my mother, era su suegra, no sé cómo se dice en inglés, suegra, pero quería muchísimo a mi abuela. And in this photo is my family, and you can see a Tamayo with his wife, my grandmother, my own Francisco. He became one of the greatest sculptors in Mexico. My father, and my own Carmen, that he was the creator of the Museum of Modern Art in Mexico City. This is a design of my mother's portrait that is the best portrait that my father ever did. This is the portrait when it was finished, you see. Here we have Breton, Trotsky, and my father. Maybe was taken this in Coyoacán, in the Blue House in Coyoacán. That was taken a few months before that Trotsky were murdered. At that time, Trotsky were living in la Casa Azul de Coyoacán, that now is a very important museum, and they have a problem, my father and Trotsky said that he will be moved from that house, that he doesn't want to stay more there because they have a problem. So Trotsky left the Blue House, and he bought a house not so far from there in Coyoacán that is now Museo Leo Trotsky, and he went to live there, and a few months later he was murdered by Stalin order.